celebrating the spirit of more than 30 schools across northern Clackamas County. This is NCSD TV.
Well, February is Career and Technical Education Month, and here in the North Clackamas School District, there's no better place to be than on one of our campuses of the Saban-Schellinger Professional Technical Center. We've got all kinds of things going on throughout our two campuses. There is digital design going on right there, students having a discussion. Then we come over this way to room 212. It's architecture and design. This is where Robert Parker teaches. You ever heard of him? Well, you should. He's the Regional Teacher of the Year. Let's see what's happening in his class.
That is a really good teacher. I think he's funny, he's nice, but he knows how to explain things really well, especially if you don't understand something. So.
I think he's just an amazing teacher in general. I mean, he's my favorite teacher out of all my classes right now. He's just a fun classroom and a person to be around and good environment here too.
He's very considerate when it comes to different projects, welcoming and energetic, very energetic.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Mr. Parker. He's a great teacher, and he really guides us through it. And he does it in he really enjoys it too, and he gets a first-hand experience because he also does architecture. So I think it's a great way to teach it because he also has first-hand experience. So then he applies that to us and applies it to the work we do.
I think he just teaches really, really well. He's really funny, I would say. He makes it overall good experience, good environment. If you're having a bad day at school, you come to his class and I think it's always going to enlighten your mood.
So I think that students that take CTE courses graduate at a higher rate because the things that they learn are real world skills. They are following a career path and they're learning skills that are relevant to them. I had a director, a principal early on who said, and she had done some work with the Bill Gates Research Small Schools Initiative. She said the thing that all great schools do is they have teachers that create a classroom with rigor, relevance, and relationship. And I think what CTE is really good at is the relevance part, because a lot of the teachers are coming out of industry, so the things that they're teaching are, applicable to the future for these students. So they're actually getting to put their hands on tools that they might use in the future, have skills that they're learning that are, relevant to them. I think a lot of the comprehensive high school classes can be a little abstract. So having something where it's obvious where they're going to take that skill is engaging. So I took a non-traditional path to teaching. I started in industry. I'm a licensed architect, so I have 20 years of experience as a practicing architect. And I think one of the things that does for me as a teacher is there's a certain level of authenticity. The kinds of scenarios that I talk about to the students, the kind of next step that they're going to take their work to, the college, the career. They can see a model or an example of somebody that's gone down that path. And I think, the passion that I have for the field, having lived it, experienced it, been in people's homes, designed houses for them, that passion is obvious to the students. And so I bring a energy, an excitement that somebody who hasn't practiced architecture might not bring to the classroom. In part, I think it is my interest in the subject, but I think also I think of this space as a collaborative space. So I'm as interested in the students' work as they are, and I think they read that. They notice that I want to set up a problem that is relevant to the world's practice, to architecture, but then I really want to learn from them as much as they're learning from me. And I think they get that, they see it, they see the passion, they see the interest, and they see somebody that, wants to go on this journey with them. I do think anybody is capable of greatness, no matter where they come from, background, culture, history, and in particular, age. I think a lot of, especially high school students, have had the experience of people not having high expectations of them and having the tasks that they complete not really feel like they're going to take that out into the world. It's sort of practice, pretend. And I think, I've learned by creating projects and working with students where the outcome is unknown and there's an unlimited range of what they could produce. Just watching them go through it, I realized that, they have the same capacities that an adult has. They just don't always make the same decisions that adults make, and that can hold them back sometimes. So given the correct or a nice frame for them to work in, they can produce as good or better work than a professional. And in fact, they have this advantage of time. After this, I'm going to go home and I'm going to take my daughter to ballet and 17 other things before I fall asleep. Whereas they can go home and throw 6 or 7 hours at a project and come back the next day with something that I wouldn't be able to produce. So they actually have advantages over, a professional. So I think students can do anything. Yeah, I do believe design is a universal skill. I think there's some pretty good evidence out there that when humans kind of emerged from the caves, they had to redesign their environment to make it work for them. And so from those early days, we've carried that with us. No matter what we do, we design our clothing, we design, maybe not the threads, but we pick the outfit. We put our ensemble together, we might design our garden layout, our house, maybe someday. So inevitably, every person has had some experience with design. And one of the things that I do at the beginning of their first year is we experiment, putting students together in teams and confronting problems that are really challenging. And through that process, doing it over and over again, come to this conclusion that you need many voices and you need many backgrounds to come up with really innovative, groundbreaking things. Otherwise, they would already have been created. And so really what it is multitudes of voices, multitudes of backgrounds coming together and having a way to communicate and elaborate on ideas together that results in spectacular design. I think Sabin-Schellenberg is a unique mixing pot. To me, I think of it as that experience when you first go to college and you had 12, 14 years of establishing who you are with this group of people. I grew up in a really small rural town in Arizona. I knew everybody in my town. So by the time I was a senior in high school, we knew everybody's home, the sports, everything about them. And I think it wasn't until college where I realized I could recreate who I wanted to be in this new setting with these new people. And one of the really special things about Sabin-Schellenberg is all these different folks coming together from these different high schools, different backgrounds, mixing, and different ages, right? So freshmen all the way up to senior, same class. And they really have this opportunity to recreate their identity, remold themselves, and also exchange ideas, perspectives from students from other walks of life and other programs on campus, right? So there's really this beautiful blending and mixing of different backgrounds. Thank you for your time, both you two and then everybody else who's watching this. I'm humbled by the whole experience, so appreciate you.